Hello everyone, I am Easvarie Karuppan.
Hi everyone, I am Snekha Anandraj.
Hello everyone, my name is Swapnil Bodhale.
Hello everyone, my name is Anamika Yadav.
My name is Deepa Elakkiya.
Hello everyone, I am Kavitha Velmurugan.
We are from 5B.
Students of International Medical Faculty
Of Four State University.
In this video, we are going to teach you Latin names of deformities of tissue
And surgical operation.
First of all, we are going to learn some prefixes of widely used surgical terms. The first is A. A means away. Example is avulsio, avulsionis. It means forcible removing of organ or part of organ from a hollow structure. And second is ab. It means from. Example is aberratio, aberrationis. It is the deviation from the normal. And the second is de. It means away. Example is decapsulatio, decapsulationis. It meaning is surgical removal of a capsule or sheath. And des, it means from. Descensus, descensus. It is the sinking or protrusion of a viscous portion of an organ. And the third is dish. This, it means apart or separation. Example is disarticulatio, disarticulationis. Meaning is separation or amputation in a joint without cutting through the bone. And the next is im. It means in. Example is implantatum, implantanti. Implant, it is any piece of tissue or organ which is used as a graft. And in, it means into. It is invention, entrance or establishment of parasites or any other foreign body into the host. And the next is a. It means from. Example is a visceratio, a viscerationis. It means the removal of contents from an organ or a portion of organ. And the next is x. X, it means out of. Example is extractio, extractionis. It is the action of it is extraction, that it means action of drawing out a part of body or a foreign body. The next is re. It means again. The word is replantatio, replantationis. And it is in English, it means replantation, that is replacement of an organ that is separated from the body to back to its normal position. And the last one is trans. Trans, it means through or across. Example is transplantatio, transplantationis. It is the operation of transfer of organ or a part of organ from one part of the body to other. Now we are going to see some ancient roots of Latin words. Here we have Greek roots and Latin equivalents, and we are going to find out its meaning. The first one is blepar. Blepar in Latin equivalent is palpebra, palpebrae. It means eyelid. The second is kir. In Latin equivalent is manus, manus. It means hand. And the Greek root is kor. Latin equivalent is vagina, vaginae. English meaning is vagina. The next one is krill. Latin equivalent is gelu, gelus. It means cold. Next one, crypt. Latin equivalent is latens, latentis. It means hidden. Des. Latin equivalent is ligamentum, ligamenti. It means ligament. The next Greek root is embry. Its Latin equivalent is embryo, embryonis. It is a fertilized ovum up to 8 weeks of intrauterine life, or it is also known as fetus. It means the living organism that stays after the 8 weeks of intrauterine life. The next is kerat. Latin equivalent is cornea, corneae, and it is a horny layer of skin. The next one is lapar. It means abdominis. It is abdomen. The next is neum or neumno. It is pulmo or pulmonis. It is lung. The next one is salping. Latin equivalent is tuba uterine or tuba auditiva. It means uterine tube or auditory tube. Second last is the ten. In Latin equivalent is tendo or tendonis. It means tendon. And the last one is top. Latin equivalent is locus or loci. It means place. At last, now we are going to see the final roots of some surgical or clinical terms. The first one is chirurgia. It means surgical operation. The second is centesis. It is a tapping or puncture of a cavity. Desis. It is operative fixation of a structure. Ectomia. It means amputation or excision of an organ or its parts. Implantatio. It is introduction of one of a tissue or structure into another with the aim of improving the function of the body. Lysis. It is a surgical freeing of a tissue from adhesion. Pexia. It means surgical fixation by means of sutures. Plastica. It is operation dependent upon the transposition of skin or other tissues. Raffia. It means suturing together of the cut or torn edges of a wound. Rhexis. It is a rupture or bursting of an organ or a vessel. Stoma. It means artificial opening created by surgical operation. And stomia. It means creation of an artificial opening. Tomia. It is operative cutting, that is incision or a section. At last, transplantatio. It is operation of transference of a tissue or organ from one place to other with the aim of improving the body. Thank you.
I am going to explain Latin English vocabulary. The first one is ablucio, gender feminine, a forcible removing portion from a hollow structure, evolution. And the second one is blepharitis, is gender feminine, an inflammation of the eyelid, blepharitis. Blepharoplastica, gender feminine, a plastic operation for restoration of an eyelid or any part of it, blepharoplasty. And the next one is clophomotomia, gender feminine, any cutting operation on the vagina, clophotomy. Combustio, gender feminine, an injury caused by heat or by chemical or physical agents having an effect similar to heat burn. And this one is cryochirurgia, gender feminine, surgical procedures in which tissue is destroyed by freezing, cryosurgery. Cryptotherapia, gender feminine, the signs of the use of the cold as a therapeutic measure, cryotherapy. Cryptothalamia, gender feminine, a congenital adhesion of the eyelids so that the eyeballs cannot be seen, cryptothalamia. Cryotherapia, gender feminine, the signs of the use of cold as a therapeutic measure, cryotherapy. And next one is cryptothalamia, gender feminine, a congenital adhesion of the eyelids so that the eyeball cannot be seen, cryptophthalmia. Decapsulatio, gender feminine, a surgical removal of a capsule or sheath, decapsulation. And the next one is descensus, gender masculine, the sinking down or protrusion of a viscous or its parts descends. Desmorexis, gender feminine, the rupture of a ligament desmorexis. Desmagia, gender feminine, the signs of applying leakages or bandages to a part, desmargy. Disarticulatio, gender feminine, a separation of or amputation to a joint without cutting through bone, disarticulation. And this one is embryoglia, gender feminine, a branch of biological science which is concerned with the origin and development of embryo from the ovum to the stage of extrauterine life, embryology. Embryotomia, gender feminine, a dissection of embryology of fetus, embryotomy. And this one is evisceratio, gender feminine, a removal of the contents of an organ or part, evisceration. Castroma, gender neutral, a natural or artificial gastric fistula, castroma. And the next one is hyperkeratosis, gender feminine, a hypertrophy of the stratum concerning of the skin, hyperkeratosis. Implantatio, gender feminine, the introduction of one tissue or structure into another with the aim of the improving function of any part of the body, implantation. And keratotomia, gender feminine, making an incision into the cornea, keratomy. Laparoscopia, gender feminine, the act or process of examining the peritoneal cavity and its contents by the means of a laparoscope, laparoscopy. And this one is laparoscopia, gender feminine, the operation to create an artificial opening in the stomach, laparogastrostomy. Pneumocentesis, gender feminine, a lung puncture in order to aspirate the content of a cavity, pneumocentesis. Pneumoempyema, gender neutral, the presence of a pus and gas within the pleural place, pneumoempyema. Prolapsus, gender masculine, the sinking down or protrusion of a viscous or its parts, prolapse. And replantatio, gender feminine, the replacement or separated by accident part of some anatomical structure back to its natural place. Replantatio, gender feminine, a surgical removal of a part, as usually of some magnitude, example jaw, stomach, etc., a resection. And this one is salpingectomia, gender feminine, an excision of a uterine tube, salpingectomy. Salpingolysis, gender feminine, breaking down of adhesion in an uterine tube, salpingoglysis. And spondylodesis, gender feminine, the operation of fusion of a spine, as usually by a bone graft, spondylodesis. Tenorrhea, gender feminine, an operation for the suturing of the divided ends of a tendon, tenorrhea. And tenotomia, gender feminine, the cutting of a tendon, tenotomy. Thoracocentesis, gender feminine, a puncture of a wall of the thorax to remove fluid, thoracocentesis. Toponeurosis, gender feminine, localized neurosis, a functional arrangement in any part of the body, toponeurosis. Commotio, gender feminine, a concussion or a violent shaking of a soft structure. And blepharoadenoma, gender neutral, adenoma of the eyelid. Neurochirurgus, gender masculine, treatment of a disease of the nervous system, a neurosurgeon. And embryo neoplasma, a neoplasm originating in embryonic element or blighted ovum, embryo neoplasma. Desmopathia, gender feminine, any disease affecting the ligaments, desmopathia. And cystoplastica, gender feminine, any plastic operation to repair or reconstruct the urinary bladder, cystoplasty. Colpopolypus, gender masculine, a polypus of the vagina, colpopolypus. And prolapsus, Gender masculine, a prolapse, the sinking down or protrusion of a viscous or its part. Keratocentesis, gender feminine, a puncture of a cornea, keratocentesis. And arthrocentesis, gender feminine, arthrocentesis, the surgical procedure of a puncturing a joint. Microchirurgia, gender feminine, a surgical operation on small sutures with the aid of a microscope, microsurgery. And desmonioplasma, a tumor consisting of a connective tissue, desmonioplasm. Autoplastica, gender feminine, autoplasty, the repair of a disease or injured tissue or organ by the material taken from the another part of the body. And deformitomia, gender feminine, deformitomy, an incision of an eyelid. Kyphocystotomia, gender feminine, kyphocystotomy, a surgical incision into the urinary bladder through the wall of the vagina. Kyphoscystoropexia, gender feminine, kyphoscystoropexy, the operative fixation of the uterus through the vagina. And next one is kyphomyomectotomia, gender feminine, kyphomyomectomy, a removal of a myoma from the uterus by the vaginal route. Congelatio, gender feminine, congelation, a local morbid condition caused by freezing. Cryochirurgia, gender feminine, cryosurgery, surgical procedures in which tissue is destroyed by freezing. Cryptolithus, gender masculine, cryptolith, a calculus contained in crypt. Cryptosoriasis, gender feminine, cryptosoriasis, hidden, latent psoriasis. Dysmalgia, gender feminine, dysmalgia, pain in a ligament. That's all, ma'am. Thank you.
Colpoplastica, any plastic surgical operations on the vagina, colpoplasty. Second one, neurochirurgus, a medical practitioner skilled in general surgery who specialized in operative treatment of disease nervous systems is called neurosurgeon. Blepharodenoma, adenoma of eyelids, blepharodenoma. Comatito, a conclusion or a violent shaking of soft structures. Fifth one, cystoplastica, any plastic operation to repair or reconstruct the urinary bladder of cystoplasty. Sixth one, pneumopathia, any morbid condition affecting the lungs, pneumopathy. Seventh one, desmopathia, any disease of affecting the ligaments of desmopathia. Eighth one, embryo neoplasma, a neoplasma originating in embryonic element or blighting ovum and embryoplasm. Ninth one, colpopolypus, a polypus of the vagina, polypus.
Rupture of the eyeball, ophthalmorhexis. Nominative form is ophthalmorhexis. Genitive form is ophthalmoresis. Gender is female. Second one is a disease of cornea caused by a fungus. Answer is keratomycosis. Nominative form keratomycosis. Genitive form is also keratomycosis. Gender female. Any piece of tissue used as a graft. Answer implant. Nominative form implantum. Genitive form is implanti. Gender is neutral. Plastic surgery on the cornea. Keratoplasty. Nominative form keratoplastica. Genitive form keratoplastica. Gender female. Any opening into the esophagus apart from the normal entrance and exit. Esophagostoma. Nominative form esophagostoma. Genitive form esophagostomatis. Gender neutral. A lung puncture in order to aspirate the content of the cavity. Pneumocentesis. Nominative form pneumocentesis, genitive form pneumocentatis, gender female. The operation of suturing a wound of the lung. Pneumorrhaphy. Nominative form pneumorrhaphia, genitive form pneumorrhaphy, female. Making an incision into the lung. Pneumotomy. Nominative form pneumotomia, genitive form pneumotomy, female. The operation of piercing a viscous or a swelling either to establish the nature of its content or to empty it. Puncture. Nominative form punctura, genitive form puncturae, gender female. Removal of an entire pathological structure, an organ or part. Extirpation. Nominative form extirpatio, genitive form extirpationis, gender female. The radiograph made during the radiograph visualization of the uterus and uterine tubes. Salpingogram. Nominative form salpingogramma, genitive form salpingogrammatis, gender neutral. Incision of the abdominal wall and excision of the uterus. Leprohysterectomy. Nominative form leprohysterectomia, genitive form leprohysterectomy, gender female. Retention of the menstrual flow due to congenital or acquired genital canal stenosis. Cryptomenorrhea. Nominative form cryptomenorrhea, genitive form cryptomenorrhea, gender female. Surgical fixation of the uterine tube. Salpingopaxia. Nominative form salpingopaxia, genitive form salpingopaxi, gender female. Inflammation of the abdominal muscle. Lepromyositis, genitive form lepromyositis, gender is female. The presence of pus and gas within the pleural space. Answer is pneumoempyema. Nominative form pneumoempyema, genitive form pneumoempyematis, gender neutral. Operative fixation of a tendon. Tenodesis. Nominative form tenodesis, genitive form tenodis, gender female. The freezing of a tendon from adhesion. Tenolysis. Nominative form tenolysis, genitive form tenolysis, gender female. The act or process of drawing out a part of body or a foreign body. Extraction. Nominative form extractio, genitive form extractionis, gender female. The entrance and establishment of parasites into the body of a host. Invasion. Nominative form invasio, genitive form invasionis, gender female. The surgical operation for removal of a part of a tonsil. Tonsillotomy. Nominative form tonsillotomia, genitive form tonsillotomy, gender female. The anatomical description of any particular part of the body. Topography, nominative form, topographia, gender, genitive form, topography, gender, female. Unreasoned fear of certain places. Topophobia, nominative form, topophobia, genitive form, topophobia, gender, female. The last one, total or partial surgical removal of diseased lung tissue. Pneumonectomy, nominative form, pneumonectomia, genitive form, pneumonectomy, gender, female. Thanks.
Acutus, meaning acute. Chronicus, meaning chronic, long continued. Continuous, meaning continued. Diabetes, gender, male, meaning a group of diseases from which there is a polyuria and disturbed metabolism. Diagnosis, gender, female, meaning diagnosis, medical denotion of a disease from which a person suffers. Febris, gender, female, meaning fever. Gravida, gender, female, meaning a woman who is pregnant. Herpes, gender, male, meaning herpes, inflammation of skin. Indigestio, gender, female, meaning any disturbance of a normal process of digestion. Infractus, gender, male, meaning infract, a wedge-shaped area of dead tissues. Mellitus, meaning characterized by high fasting blood sugar. Morbus, gender, male, meaning a disease. Neonatus, meaning a newly born child. Percussio, gender, female, meaning abdominal wall in order to produce sound vibration from which the nature of the underlying structure can be assessed. Toxicosis, gender, female, meaning pathological condition caused by thrombosis. Vetum, meaning a defect or vice.
Acute, acutus. Alimentary, alimentaris. A tissue, textus. A transfusion, the introduction into the blood vessels of circulatory system of sterile fluid such as serum solution. A syndrome, a distinct group of signs which forms a characteristic clinic picture of the disease. A symptom, the consciousness of a disturbance in a bodily function. Gender neutral. Chronic, chronicus. Cardinal, cardinalis. Exogenous, belonging to etiological factors outside the organism. Endogenous, having origin within the organism. Fever, febris, gender feminine. Coma, the state of complete loss of consciousness from which the patient cannot be roused by any ordinary external stimulus. Gender neutral. Collapse, a state of extreme weakness with a physical and mental depression. Gender masculine. Paralysis, loss of motor power due to the functional or organic disorder of neural or neuromuscular mechanism. Gender feminine. Plasma, the fluid portion of the blood in which the blood corpuscles are suspended. Gender neutral. Pneumonia, an inflammation of the spongy tissue of the lung. Gender female. Peduncle, pedunculus. Gender masculine. Subacute, running a moderately rapid and severe course for which the word acute would not be appropriate. Spongiform, having resemblance to a sponge. Eczema, a non-contagious inflammation disease of the skin with which itching and burning. gender neutral. Emphysema, a condition in which the alveoli of the lung are dilated, gender neutral. Hypoglycemic, relating or belonging to or bringing about hypoglycemia, a low blood sugar concentration. Intermittent, coming or going at intervals. Tomography, body section radiography, gender feminine. Ultrasonic, ultrasound.
Thank you for everyone for watching our video.